Hey everyone and welcome. If you're looking for a clear, no nonsense plan to absolutely crush the CUET General Aptitude test, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are going to unpack a powerful 8-week strategy designed to get you across the finish line with confidence. Yeah, I totally get it. You open up that syllabus and it just looks like a mountain, right? You've got numerical ability, logical reasoning, GK, current affairs. It's a ton of stuff. And that feeling of, oh man, where do I even start is completely 100% normal. But here's the secret. And this is really the core of our whole explainer today. Acing this exam isn't about pulling endless all nighters for 8 weeks straight. Nope. It's all about strategy, precision, and focusing your energy where it's going to have the biggest impact. So here's our game plan. We'll start by really understanding the challenge ahead. Then we'll break down the exam's blueprint. After that, I'm going to give you a priority study map and a step by step 8 week plan. And to wrap it all up, I'll show you a tool that can literally multiply your efforts. Let's do this. Okay, first things first, we have to size up the opponent. To beat any test, you've got to understand the rules of the game. And the CUET has a couple of very, very specific rules you need to know about 72. So, what does this number mean? This, my friends, is the average number of seconds you get for each question. That's it, a little over a minute. This tells you right away that this test isn't just a test of knowledge, it is a flat out race against the clock. Speed is everything. And, just to crank up the pressure a bit, there's negative marking. A wrong answer doesn't just get you a zero, it actively steals a mark from your total score. This means that while guessing is a super risky move, you absolutely need a strategy for what to attempt and, just as important, what questions to leave alone. So, how in the world do you tackle a high speed, high stakes test like this? Well, you start by mapping out the battlefield. Let's deconstruct this exam into its core parts so we can see where the real points are hiding. And here it is, the 5 domains of the general test. Now look closely. Notice how logical reasoning and numerical ability, when you put them together, make up well over half the entire paper. That's a massive clue. These are skill based sections where your practice directly turns into points, which is a lot more predictable than the vast, endless ocean of general knowledge. This visual really just makes it crystal clear, doesn't it? Look at those huge chunks for logical reasoning and numerical ability. If these are areas you're good at, you're already in a fantastic spot. Our entire strategy is going to be built around this very distribution. Okay, now we're getting to the heart of the strategy. Instead of trying to study everything all at once, we're going to use a priority map. Think of this as your secret guide that shows you exactly what to master first to get the biggest bang for your buck, time wise. Alright, a quick but super important disclaimer. This priority map is a strategic tool. It's based on patterns from past exams and it's designed for smart focus prep, especially if you're short on time. But listen, if you do have enough time, the absolute best thing to do is cover the entire syllabus. Use this plan to focus your energy, not as an excuse to ignore topics. Alright, let's start with the absolute must-dos. These topics are the bedrock of your score. They show up all the time and the questions are often predictable and totally solvable if you know the right formulas and techniques. So for quantitative aptitude, you need to become an expert in ratios, profit and loss, time and work and speed. Distance time for logical reasoning, you have to master series coding, decoding blood relations and direction sense, and for current affairs. Don't try to know everything. Focus strategically on major news in space tech, health, and constitutional stuff, especially from January 2024 onwards. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This insight from past hoppers really says it all. Your core analytical and numerical skills. That's the engine of your score. Everything else just boosts it. Get this part right, and you are already well over halfway. There? Okay. Next up are the topics that will take you from having a pretty good score to a really great one. These show up consistently but might take a little more time to solve, or they cover a slightly wider range of ideas. In this bucket, we're adding topics like geometry and mensuration, the basics of statistics and fundamental probability, dice and cards for general science. Your NCERT textbooks are your best friends. And for static GK, focus on high impact areas like the freedom movement in modern history and the basics of the Indian Constitution. The key here isn't just to learn it once, it's consistent practice to keep it all fresh in your mind. And finally, we have the low priority topics. Now, let's be clear, low priority does not mean no priority. It just means you invest your time here really smartly. These are topics that show up less often, or where studying for hours and hours gives you diminishing returns. The goal here is just to be familiar with them, not to achieve total mastery. So we know what to study and in what order. But the big question is, how do you actually put it all together? Let's break it down into a practical week by week action plan. You can literally start today. Here's the timeline. Weeks 1 through 3. That's your foundation phase. Your only mission is to absolutely master those high priority topics. Weeks 4 to 6. That's the expansion phase. Here you'll bring in the medium priority topics, and this is key. Start taking one mock test every single week. And finally, weeks 7 and 8 are all about consolidation. You'll quickly go over the low priority stuff and ramp up your testing to 3 or 4 intensive mock tests. And as you follow this plan, you have to build these 4 habits. 1. Create cheat sheets for all your math formulas. 2. Do weekly speed drills. 3. Analyze every mock test you take. And 4. And honestly, this is the most powerful one. Maintain a detailed error log. Actually, writing down why you made a mistake is scientifically proven to stop you from repeating it. This one habit alone can be a massive score booster. Okay, so you have the strategy. You've got the strategy, the blueprint, the priority map, and the 8-week action plan. Now let's talk about the most important part. Execution. How do you implement this plan to get the best possible results? Because let's be real, having a great plan is one thing, but having the right tools to execute it, to track your progress, and to fix your weaknesses in real time, well, that can be a complete and total game changer. And this is exactly where a tool like Ease to Learn can come into play. Now, I want to be super clear here. This is not a replacement for your hard work. It's what we call a force multiplier. This image explains it perfectly. Think of your core study, your books, your notes, your coaching classes. That's the engine. It's absolutely essential. A tool like Ease to Learn is like a turbocharger. You strap it onto that engine and it takes all your hard work and just makes it smarter, faster, and way more effective. It's a powerful supplement, even if you're already going to coaching. So how does it do that? Well, first up, there's the gap fixer feature. This thing is like a diagnostic tool for your brain. It doesn't just say you're weak in profit and loss, it pinpoints the exact issue. Like maybe you're struggling with calculating percentages, so you can fix the precise problem, not just the general topic. And when that gap fixer finds a little weak spot, that's where Tony, your AI buddy, comes in. You have a doubt. At 2 in the morning, you get an instant explanation. You don't have to wait for your teacher or get stuck on a concept for days. This is stress-free learning totally on your schedule. Then you have paychecks. This feature creates targeted practice drills specifically to improve both your speed and your accuracy. Remember that 72-second clock we talked about? Pace is your training ground to find that perfect balance between moving fast and not making silly mistakes that lead to negative marks. The exam room gives you AI simulated mock tests and tons of previous year's questions, all in an environment that feels just like the real exam. This is how you build up the mental toughness and the confidence you need to perform when the pressure is on for real. And maybe the best part is that none of this is guesswork. The reports and analytics dashboard tracks everything. It gives you these data-driven insights into your performance so you can see exactly which topics are getting better and where you might be stuck, allowing you to make smart choices about what to study next. Wow, we've covered a ton of ground today. We've talked about the exam itself, the strategy to beat it, and a powerful tool to help you get it done. So what are your next steps from here? Well, if you're prepping for other subjects, we have totally got you covered. We have detailed explainers just like this one for everything from English and accountancy to physics and political science and a whole bunch more. So definitely go check those out on our channel. So I'll leave you with this one question. You have the knowledge, you have the plan, and now you have the tools. Are you ready to stop just working hard and start working smart? The path to your success is laid out right in front of you. Now it's your turn to walk it. You've got this.